Hello and welcome to the 𝗬𝗲𝗶𝗴𝗬𝗱 podcast, and I'm your host Chris Holland. Now firstly, I do have two apologies for you. I am a little bit under the weather with the flu at the moment, so if you hear some sniffling and whatnot, that is why. I do apologize. However, I'm now actually 2 days late from recording this podcast due to this, so this is as good as it's going to get for this week, so I do apologize. Anyway, today's topic is going to be builder brokers.
Welcome property investors. This is the 𝗬𝗲𝗶𝗴𝗬𝗱 podcast. If you're a property investor or you're curious about investing in property in Western Australia, this is the podcast for you. The reason for that is we're not going to hold back. We're not going to sugarcoat things. We're certainly not going to bullshit you, and we're going to exploit everything that you need to know. There's a lot of negative press at the moment in WA regarding building, and it doesn't have to be. So what we're going to do is help you navigate through that bullshit and create your wealth free of charge. We're just giving you this information. Every month we're going to have special guests on who are industry professionals, and then we're going to release an episode every single Monday, so you're not going to miss anything. So please stay tuned, like, subscribe so you never miss anything, and enjoy.
What is a builder broker? Ultimately, are they good? Are they a good investment? What do they do? How much do they cost? Is there hidden fees? Are they exclusive to builders? All of the above. So this one hits home for me because complete transparency, about 5-6 years ago, I started my own builder broking company called the House and Land Expert. It's still in operation today. We have another consultant that works with me. And these are for clients that actually don't fit the mold of 𝗬𝗎 West, my building company. So straight off the bat, basically, I think builder brokers are great. I really do believe there's a place in the market for builder brokers. And yeah, I think everyone should engage one, to be completely honest. Unless you're going to build with a smaller builder where you actually deal directly with the builder. I see that as I see that as the best option, but not always clients' budgets will allow that to happen. Generally speaking, smaller builders are a little bit more expensive than project builders. That's pretty much just due to the buying power. The bulk material project builders buy, they get it at a far lesser rate than the smaller builders, guys like myself. So naturally speaking, our prices are normally a little bit higher. Not too much, but a little bit higher. Builder brokers, however, generally they'll have access to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever, different builders across Perth. But we do have to be conscious with builder brokers. Make sure they have a trade for a start. That's the best thing, I guess I would say. You would hire a mechanic to go and look at 5 or 6 different vehicles for you and give you his recommendation on which car to buy. That makes sense, right? Would you hire a financial advisor or a policeman to go and look at 5 or 6 different cars and give you advice to buy one of those cars if they had absolutely no experience? No, you wouldn't. You'd just go yourself, wouldn't you? It's the same thing. So if your builder broker is, an ex-Coca-Cola salesman or something like that, let's not go with these people to build your house, Have they built a house themselves? Stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. People do grow in the industry. A lot of builder brokers have started from maybe a contracts administration role or a client liaison role, some pre-start consultants. These people have great depths of knowledge when it comes to houses because they're dealing with clients day to day. They've got years of experience with dealing with the problems. They see the constant upgrades that are getting done, different designs. These are amazing people that turn into great builder brokers. But it is be very conscious, if you are going to go with a builder broker, just make sure they've got some level of qualification. Like I said, not a vendor machine salesman. Yeah, so just make sure they've got decent qualifications. That's step number 1. Now, another thing. When I was doing builder broking, I did have a range to 15 different builders. Now, anyone that's telling you they have access to more than 15 is generally talking smack. That is just a fact. It is so hard to keep up with just 15 builders and all of their specifications, update their price list. Any more than 15, honestly, I don't believe a builder broker is working with more than 15 straight off the bat. And if they are, where is their loyalty, right, to the builders? It's all good saying, hey, I can sell for 25 different builders, but Do you think those builders are really going to work with that builder broker? No, I don't believe so. But let's look at the positives of a builder broker. If you're a client, you're short for time, it's your first home, you've got no idea where to start, you might need some help with finance, for instance, blocks of land, negotiating land prices for you, weighing up the pros and cons of this estate as to this estate, a builder broker is an absolute amazing fit for you. They will have, or should have, loads of experience, and they'll have communication with the land agents. They may be able to negotiate and discount you a bit of price. If they've been in the game a few years, also what happens is if a block of land's on hold, say it's the last one in the estate, if the builder broker is, or any sales consultant for this matter, but generally if the builder broker does a lot of business and, you know, they're well established, they might be able to get that block of land for your client as opposed to, or for you, sorry, as opposed to whoever currently has it on hold. So there is a lot of pros and cons. Now, the most important thing I think, or the biggest offer of value you get from a builder broker is they have the price lists generally of all the builders they work with. So let's just say I've got 5 builders that I work with and they all fit within your budget. If I get an independent plan done up, or we look at a plan from a builder, or the similarities in size and inclusions, it's very easy to determine the cost with the value per builder. So essentially, if one builder's 4x2 is coming back at $400,000, but it includes this, this, and this, well, the other one's coming in at $460,000 and it doesn't include this, this, and this, well, it's quite obvious, you know what I mean, which builder we're probably going to go to. The other thing a builder broker should be doing for you is liaising directly with the client as like a bit of the meat in between the sandwich. He deals or she deals with you, the client, but then deals with the builder directly on your behalf. Now, this is really important if for an experienced broker, a builder broker, I should say, because this is different to mortgage broking, right? As we know. So, but yeah, basically, what happens is a lot of builders, obviously you listen to the SiteWorks podcast and that's the biggest rot in the system. Variations in price increases can often get stopped to clients when there's a builder broker involved. And I'll just give you a very simple example. So there's a 4x2 that's $400,000 and we've signed up for it, right? Now you go into pre-start, you find out that your standalone bathtub's not included, for instance. You go to pre-start and you get a quote for the standalone bathtub. Now you thought it was included, but it's not. The builder broker will engage and check over your plans. And if it's not included, that's okay. But when the builder comes back and says it's going to be $2,400 to install this bathtub, high chance the broker should step in and go, whoa. This spec bathtub only costs $700. We've already included plumbing and et cetera, and tapware. Where's the additional costs? Basically what I'm saying is if the builder starts to take a bit of the piss, the builder broker can object and get you it for cheaper. Now, this is the difference. When you're a one-off client going to a builder and you've already signed a contract, they can kind of charge you whatever they want when it comes to pre-start and variations, and you're essentially, your hands are tied a little bit. If they do that to a client who's represented by a builder broker and that client has a negative experience, well, that affects the builder broker's business for a start. So secondly, are they going to promote more business to go to that building company? Absolutely not. They're only going to, generally speaking, they only work for builders that do the right thing by clients. I mean, if they're not, then they shouldn't be in business. But generally speaking, most people have good ethics and they only work with good builders that do the right thing by their clients. So if the builder was to take the piss essentially and upcharge the clients or hand them a heavy variation or a SiteWorks increase, generally speaking, you would like to think the builder broker will not proceed in selling for that builder anymore. Now, that's a lot of the pros. And so again, I'm going to reiterate, I do think builder brokers are great. I think everyone should at least consult with one, as long as they're educated and have some experience in the industry. I think they're great. Much better than going to a project builder in a display street, speaking to a display home consultant who can only sell for one brand. So once someone starts selling the product itself rather than the value of themselves, I believe the deal is done. For instance, you walk into a Blueprint Homes house or whatever, and they talk about the kitchen, $60,000 of upgrades, and it's the best value and all this sort of jazz. They don't tell you it's from China. They don't want to let you know they're prefabricated Chinese imported kitchens that you can't modify. No, of course not. They'll tell you, they're on TV and stuff like this, so they'll speak highly about how long the company's been here for and stuff like that. It just doesn't sit well for me. Get on with someone who's got great communication skills and going to have your best interest. When someone wears the badge of a company, that's their interest, not you as the client, from my experience. So an independent builder broker should have your best interest at heart. And in return, it's repeat business. Now, typically speaking, they don't cost you anything, okay? But this is like, I guess, they don't cost you any money. There's not a direct consult or a direct fee for you to work with that builder broker normally. When I was doing it, I did used to charge 800 plus GST for my services, but I was in high demand to the point where I couldn't actually cope. So I had to hire more help, which is why I started charging for my consultations. But outside of that, the builder broker doesn't actually charge you anything, but it does cost you more money. There is absolutely no question about this. So I just want to make this clear. A builder broker will get a commission from the builder, and it will either get paid to them at slab down or finance approval and or settlement, or sometimes they can split it 50-50. I'm letting the cat out the bag. The commission ranges from about $15,000 upwards for a single story house. When it comes to a double story house, it's potentially $20,000 more. My question to you is, will this be cheaper if you go direct to the builder? Well, it depends on the building company, because the sales consultant who works for that building company doesn't get that much commission. Okay. And the reason for that is the builder broker essentially finds the client. So it stops the builder having to spend more marketing in order to find new customers. So essentially the builder broker approaches the builder. I already have the client. I already have the plan. This is my fee in order to get this deal. As brutal as that sounds, that is how it basically works. If you went direct to the building company, you've probably got a bit more wiggle room as well in terms of negotiating and discounting the price, but only for that one builder, where the builder broker can obviously go to 3 or 4 different builders. So there are great benefits, but there definitely is a cost association that's hidden into the house price of their commission. Okay. Now, that's fine, because let's be honest, they're doing a great job and they could have saved you $15,000, $20,000 by going to multiple builders or weeding out the bad ones and giving you a builder that gives you a guarantee, or someone with a long history of no price increases. Or potentially, the truth is, if you were to go around and speak with every builder that's offering a deal at the moment, it would take you just months and months and months of your own research. So that is what you're paying the commission for. You're paying for the experience, you're paying for the time saving cost, and you're paying for their relationships that they've already built with these builders. So instead of you trying to suss out these builders and see which one's going to rip you off and which one's not, and which one's got good reviews and bad reviews, I mean, you can do that, but you're essentially paying someone to have all that information for you. So is the fee justified of $15,000 plus GST? Absolutely, 100%. If they're qualified, if they've got a trade experience, if they don't, like I said, sell Mars bars or work for Coca-Cola or police officers, that's not someone that I would be trusting to build my house. But someone with some sort of industry experience, absolutely, 100%. It is well justified, and it will be the best money you ever spend. But do keep in mind, if you do directly go to the builder, there is a bit more wiggle room naturally. The sales consultant who works for the building company is either on a retainer or is on a less commission. Sometimes they're actually employees of the company, so they're on a bit of salary and commission, all different sort of reasons. In short, guys, what I'm saying, speak with a builder broker, but just definitely speak with the right ones. There is so many out there now, it's ridiculous. And to be honest, if you're listening to this podcast, you're talking to the best one in Perth anyway. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's a big thumbs up for me. Do your research yourself if you've got the time and the patience and energy. If you don't, engage someone, like everything in life. Stay safe. Happy days, guys. Cheers for listening. Bye.